How's it going, everybody? I want to take some time today and do a quick review on the new gold tip Airstrikes. Now, these are really new to the market. I seen them at the ATA show, but since then, I have had a really hard time finding review videos on YouTube, anything about these arrows really, minus a few image pictures that come up on Google. So I decided to go ahead and take a chance and order them myself and share with you guys my honest opinion on these arrows. This isn't science. I'm no expert or anything like that. But I still wanted to try them out and share with you guys my thoughts. So with that, I had to order these through a pro shop because they were not available online yet. I checked out Lancaster, the Bowhunter Supply Store, the Superstore. None of them had them in stock. So I went to my local pro shop. They said it'd be about 3 weeks. Ended up being about 3.5 weeks, but they finally came in. And just to keep in mind, if you order a dozen arrows, these things come in 6-packs apparently. We were not told that at all, but I got 6 in orange, and for some reason, I got 6 in the yellow. Now, that's not a huge deal to me. I'm not a color freak, but for spending $240 on a dozen arrows, I would like for them at least to match. But like I said, not a deal breaker, just something to keep in mind when you order them. Now, the Airstrike has a different coating on them. I don't know if you can see that gray sheen they kind of have. Now, they're calling that the Slick Shield, and it is a Dynatech ceramic clear coating. Now, I don't know how many of you have seen the Victory, the pink shafts. It kind of feels a lot like that. So I'm kind of skeptical on how the finish is going to last with those. I think they're called the Pink Project arrows. I don't remember. But anyways, after time, the clear coating or the coating on them just came off and revealed just basically your standard carbon underneath. So I'm really wondering if it's going to be the same case with these. Now, one thing you'll notice too is Gold Tip made these in like a kind of like a root beer brown. That's more of the component color this year instead of their original gold, which I like. I like that a lot. I'm not a huge fan of gold. I think it gives off a lot of shine, which I'm not trying to do when I'm hunting. But that's just my opinion and my, belief on that. So they geared these arrows to basically be the Kinetic Chaos with more FOC. It is the same diameter. It's a 204 series, 5 millimeter. But what they did is they lightened up the shaft about 2 grains per inch. These are 300 spine arrow, and they're coming in at an 8.5 grain per inch. The standard Kinetic Chaos come in at a 10.4. So, and while using the same exact components as the Kinetic Chaos, it's pretty obvious that yes, there is going to be an increase in FOC here. I'll open up this box and show you some components that aren't installed. So, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with the Kinetic Chaos. You can see the root beer brown again. Now, everything's the same. You still got your insert, you still got your ballistic color, and still overlaps. So, nothing's changed there. But I will, for anyone who's never shot these arrows before, keep in mind that these ballistic collars do. Let's see if I can get that. Wow. I don't know why that insert doesn't want to go. I have to clean that up. However, this ballistic collar slides over the shaft by about a half an inch. So just because you shoot a 28-inch carbon to carbon arrow doesn't mean that's going to be the case with these. You're probably going to want to add a half an inch. Otherwise, you run into the risk of having these bushings coming up into your rest. So, yeah, first impressions on these arrows, they're very appealing to the eye. They're a really cool looking arrow. I went ahead and ordered them in a 4-fletch. Now that probably takes away from the FOC because there's more weight on the back. I understand that. But I wanted to compare them to the arrows I already had set up in a 5 millimeter. Basically the same setup, just different company, not with a slick shield. So I wanted to make it simple for a review. So I went with these guys. Everything's spun out great with them. I know you guys probably can't see that, but the rod head spins great. I'm going to go ahead and take these things out to the range later today. I'm going to shoot. I know they have hay bale targets out there, and sometimes they leave some foam targets out, and they're really old foam targets. So they should give me a really good idea on if this slick shield really pulls and penetrates better. That is their selling point on these, that this whole system, the slick shield system, will over penetrate other arrows and easier removal over other arrows. So I'm going to test that. So I'm going to head to the range here in about an hour and let you guys kind of see me taking a few shots with them, pulling the arrows. Like I said, this isn't science. This isn't, anything special. Like it's just me giving my honest opinion on it. So I'm going to go ahead and head to the range and take some shots, and I'll bring you guys along. All right, at 40 yards again, I kind of realized something when I was shooting that last arrow and trying to compare how they pull out, that I was comparing a 5mm arrow to one of the bigger shafts of the Valkyrie. So I'm going to shoot, it's my odd arrow, but it's a 5mm. There's a 6 grain difference between the Airstrike and this, so it should give me a better idea how these arrows pull with that new coating they got. Now here goes the Airstrike. So there's about a 6 grain difference here. All right. Now, don't judge me on the shots because they're not very well executed. I was a little punchy on that last one, but I'm not worried about accuracy right now. Like I said, I just want to see how these things pull and the penetration difference. Alright, so you can see they penetrated about the same. Let me see here. Okay, that wasn't bad. That was silky smooth though. Yeah, I'm kind of believing this whole coating thing. It's been nice. I haven't had to jerk, twist, nothing on those Airstrikes, but we'll shoot some foam. Some of the old hard foam targets coming up. We'll see how they pull on those. Alright. Out here at the range with these new gold tip Airstrikes that I got. And they're claiming that this new coating on it makes it easier to pull out a foam target. So I'm going to shoot it against 5mm, so both 204 diameter arrows. One with a slick shield and one without. And I'm going to see how each of them pull. Now there's a 6 grain difference, so I mean they're really close. But let's see what they got. All right. So far, I mean, I'm impressed with the Airstrikes, but I've only shot hay bales. So it's the first foam target I've shot with them. Now, mind you, they have claimed that they over-penetrate because of the FOC, but this is my my 20th target today, and both arrows have penetrated pretty much exactly the same. Not bad. But now I'm going to see how it pulls out of foam. Let's see if I can show you guys how hard it is. So I'm not gonna lie, they're both pretty darn hard. Now in a hay bale, the Airstrike has been pulling, I mean, like 2 fingers, and this one I've still had to, sometimes grip and twist. But I'll shoot a few more, give an honest opinion after I'm done. All right, I'm on about my 15th foam target of the day, and I gotta say, I'm not blown away with the slick shield. I mean, I can see how maybe going through like an animal, adding some moisture to the slick shield, maybe it would pull or blow through easier. I don't know. But so far on these foam targets, I don't see any difference. Now, there was a difference on hay bales, so we'll say that. Huge difference on hay bales. But I'll let you guys kind of decide. You can see my struggle on this last one. Kind of make up your mind. So, I'm guessing my yardage, and I shot way low on the first one, so I know it's way harder foam. So I didn't adjust for yardage, and I put it a little bit further back in the guts. So, they're both in hard foam. Alright. Again, I mean, the whole penetration story, I don't know if I believe it. Let's see if I can get this foam to balance. I'm not convinced. Sorry. Alright, so I just got back from the range. And as you guys saw, this whole slick shield thing, the easier removal, more penetration, shooting it neck to neck with a standard carbon arrow in the same diameter, I mean, nearly the same weight, 6 grain difference. I expected that this would remove and over penetrate, but that just wasn't the case. Now on hay bales, absolutely, this was easy removal, not a problem. But as soon as I went to foam, I really struggled, and it actually, if anything, it made it harder for me to pull because my hand just would not grip the shield. Keep in mind that if this were to go through an animal and there was blood, I could absolutely see in it even being slicker. But on the flip side, if you're shooting in the rain, I could see this being an absolute nightmare for pulling out of foam targets. And, I'm a hunter, but I do enjoy shooting a lot of 3D events, whether it's Northwest Mountain Challenge or local events. So I was really excited to get this arrow based off their advertisement of easy removal, but kind of disappointed. Now that's not to say that this isn't a great arrow. 0.001 straightness, half grain tolerance, high quality arrow. I was getting great flights. Like I said, now I true everything, so I mean you should get good spin, but everything's just been consistent. So no complaints there, and I'm sure they're plenty tough. You know, using the same components as the Kinetic Chaos. I'm sure they're tough, but I'm a little disappointed in this whole slick shield. I was really excited for it. I was really gunning for it, but it just fell short, in my opinion. Now, with that, the FOC, yes, there is an increase in FOC. Like I said, with the numbers, you lighten up the shaft and you add just as much weight up front, you're going to have, you know, overall increased FOC. And one thing I forgot to mention is that these inserts actually take brass weights. So if you want to add weight on your arrow that way, that's awesome. Go for it. I am not a huge fan of adding more components to my setup. I would much rather just step up to 125 grain or 150 grain broadhead. And I understand people claim, and it's true, there are less broadheads in that 125, 150, 200 grain category. But if you're going to spend the money, you know, $240 a dozen, I'm going to assume that you're going to spend quality, you know, money on a quality broadhead. And from most quality broadhead companies, they offer that 125, the 150 grain broadhead. So it's never been a problem for me. But anyways, yeah, so that's my honest opinion on this arrow. It's a great arrow. Some of their claims I find to be a little far-fetched, but it is what it is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this and learned something from it. Hopefully I'll have some more reviews coming up. I want to do a few broadhead tests. I will use this arrow in the broadhead test since since I've got them here. Now I pretty much made the decision that these will not be my hunting arrows this year. Just for the fact that they're not any better than what I shot last year, you know. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and use these arrows on my broadhead reviews. So maybe you guys will get a little bit more of a durability idea on these ballistic collars and the shaft overall, you know, because I'm eager to see, since they lightened up the shaft, you know, it usually means there's a little bit thinner of a wall, so potential to break. But so keep an eye out for that video. That should be coming here in a couple weeks, as soon as all the broadheads show up in the mail. So thank you guys, appreciate it.